When looking back at the DC animated universe, it's clear that none of these shows ever shied away from darker themes and mature storytelling, but there's one episode that shines above the rest as truly unique. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Thomas.
I'm Merlin.
Together we're the Comic Lads, and today we are talking about the darkest episode of Justice League Unlimited.
Some of the best superhero shows, especially ones from our childhood, are the ones that don't hold your hand. And as a child, you might watch them just for the action and just see, just to see Superman walloping the bad guy. Yes. But as an adult, you watch it and tears start streaming down your face uncontrollably.
To this day, I can't watch this episode without crying.
I was literally watching it this morning while I was doing dishes.
Yeah.
And I was fucking, the tears were helping me wash the plates.
Hey, who left this bowl of onions here?
But guys, before we discuss this episode, be sure to drop a like on the video. Really helps us out. Subscribe if you haven't already. Become one with the Justice Lads.
The Justice Lads.
So guys, if you couldn't tell already, we are talking about the episode of Justice League Unlimited called For the Man Who Has Everything. Written by the late, great Dwayne McDuffie, adapting a story by Alan Moore.
Yeah, this was very famously one of the most noteworthy Jason Todd stories, right?
Yeah, it's one of the only stories.
One of the only two stories that are just noteworthy from his discography.
Yeah, thankfully though, they've taken his role from the original comic and given it to Wonder Woman, which just fits a lot better.
One thing in particular that I love about Justice League Unlimited is the camaraderie and friendship between the League members.
Yeah.
Although it is a very dark one, we do start off with some hope and levity.
A little sharp on the turn, don't you think?
Sorry if I scared you.
Bruce Wayne and Diana Prince showing up to the Fortress of Solitude
for Superman's birthday.
Birthdays are something that you so rarely see with superheroes.
Yeah, and I love when they do little kind of side stories like this because it just humanizes the characters, and I always like to think that they're not just teammates, but they're friends and dare I say family.
Well, they are, because Wonder Woman shows up with a big ass box, as a present.
Yeah.
And Bruce Wayne, Diana has this funny interaction where she's like, "What do you get him?"
Bruce, you didn't get him a gift certificate.
No. Cash.
I'm always curious, how much is Bruce Wayne giving Clark Kent in this? Is he handing him a milli?
I don't know if he's handing him a milli, but I know it's here's your mortgage paid. That just reminded me of how much Bruce spends in this Justice League show. Superman has this crazy fight in another episode where they destroy a lot of LexCorp property, and he goes,
"Of course the Justice League will pay for the damage."
and you just see Batman in the background just scowling. That's so good.
That's so awesome. Yeah. But they show up to the Fortress of Solitude and they encounter their first problem of the episode, the Black Mercy.
Yes, so Superman's standing there like a stone statue with this hideous, tentacular alien plant on him.
He has the same facial expression that I have watching this episode.
Yeah, he's got the Kurt Angle
yeah, just completely out of it. And we are introduced to the villain of this episode.
Reintroduced to Mongol.
And I believe he appeared for the first time in the Justice League show, right?
Yeah, but this is
Warworld,
but this is Bruce and Diana's first time meeting him.
Such a great episode. Sick. I love too, Mongol is such a great villain for Superman in particular because he's such a powerhouse.
Yeah.
But he's also kind of like a dictator.
Yeah, and he's a very kind of showman type villain. He loves the audience. He loves everyone hearing him talk, and he loves hearing his own voice as well.
And he loves humiliating his opponents.
Yes.
And that's exactly what he's done. He has put the Black Mercy, this alien plant, onto Clark on his birthday.
Yeah.
Crazy work.
And we don't even, Batman and Wonder Woman don't even get the chance to find out what it is at first because Wonder Woman tries to attack him and Batman goes, "Wait." And Mongol says,
"Clearly the males on this world are the smart ones. He wants to know about the plan."
He's so rude.
I know.
He's such a sexist fuck?
He's such like a basement dweller.
Yeah, he is.
But this is the part where Mongol explains what the powers are of the Black Mercy. And we're introduced to the part of the episode where the kind of fun birthday vibes are gone, and now we're left with a very uneasy situation.
Yeah, because Mongol explains that the Black Mercy is a parasitic organism that once it attaches itself to a host, it feeds them hallucinations of their heart's greatest desire. But it's not just a hallucination, it's deeper than that.
It's like a dream sequence almost.
It's like a dream sequence, but it feeds you a whole life, basically.
Yeah, it puts you in this dream scenario where it's so enticing when you're within it that you almost don't want to wake up. And it's very much, actually, now that I'm saying it, it reminds me of the mirror from the Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah, the Mirror of Erised, 100%.
Like, men can waste their lives in front of it. There's a really interesting piece of dialogue here where, before we get into the actual vision of what Superman is experiencing as his heart's greatest desire, Mongol is talking about how he believes Superman at this very moment is like dreaming about enslaving the human species and like everyone bowing down before him.
Yeah, and like kissing his feet.
Yeah, but when we get into it, Superman's greatest vision is just a happy home and a happy family.
And once we get into the vision, we wake up with Clark on Krypton.
On Krypton, he has his little baddie wife with him.
Yeah, and one thing I love about his wife in this vision is that she has the exact same character design, personality, and voice actress as Lois Lane from the DC animated universe, because that's one thing that he doesn't want to change. One thing in his life that is perfect and that he wouldn't change for the world.
And also, it's a vision where Bruce hasn't cucked him by getting with Lois, which is amazing for him.
Why did you say that? Why did you remind me of that?
Isn't that terrible?
Oh my god.
And it is very interesting too that the vision takes place on Krypton and not Earth. And I think that also symbolizes that although Earth is Superman's home, he's never truly felt 100% welcome.
Yeah.
Because he's not an idiot. Like, as much of a man as he is, he's still very much like an immigrant to the Earth. You know what I mean? He's not treated fairly. People look down on him. People fear him, even though he's there to help. And so I find it very interesting that he creates this like idyllic life on Krypton, and his parents are still alive.
At least Jor-El.
Jor-El, yeah.
We have Jor-El explain to us that, you know, it took him a long time to rebuild his scientific reputation after he was wrong about the planet exploding, because, you know, this Black Mercy reality in Superman's head takes real life into account. And before Krypton exploded, Jor-El was screaming at the top of his lungs about it and no one would listen to him. And now that we're 30 some odd years later in the timeline, he's kind of just like a scientist whose theories were scoffed at.
Yeah, and on top of the family dynamics, we get into, I think, probably the heart of the episode, being Superman has a kid.
Yeah, Van-El.
And not only that, but he also has Krypto there.
Yeah, he's got Krypto, and he like cleans up his poop and stuff. Just regular like family little hijinks.
But that's what's so funny, is that his ideal lifestyle, his greatest dream, isn't to have some extremely luxurious lifestyle.
No, it's to like slip on like his dog's like poop in the kitchen and to like have his son like teach his son a lesson about, you know, like taking care of the dog.
Yeah, and taking responsibility.
Yeah.
All throughout, while his vision is going on, you actually do get a pretty sick fight scene
with Wonder Woman versus Mongol, and like it's rough. I don't know how this fight would go like if we brought it into the main DC comic book canon like today, but Wonder Woman kind of gets fucking worked this episode.
Well, it's fun too because she makes it into like the weapons vault of the Fortress of Solitude, and she like tries to hit him with like these fucking super career-ending weapons and like laser beams, and they just do nothing to Mongol.
Yeah, and Mongol's like,
I'd advise you to try the plasma disruptor. It's more of a woman's weapon.
While Wonder Woman is kind of tangoing with Mongol, Bruce is like, come on, Clark, snap out of it. You're the only one that could beat him. He'll kill us all, Kent.
It kind of like gives me a bit of levity when like the episode's going crazy. It's like Batman's using a bunch of different gadgets and nothing's cutting the Black Mercy, and he goes,
Nothing's working!
throws it on the ground.
It's so rare to see Batman frustrated and not in control. And while he's pleading with Clark to snap out of it, those cries of help are actually making their way into Clark's vision.
Yeah, and the way he perceives them is Krypton having seismic tremors again.
Yeah, exactly. And all the while, Superman within this vision, in this reality that he's found himself in, he's trying to rationalize what's happening to him. And you just know that, like, I get the sense that a part of him understands what's happening.
And he doesn't want to accept it.
He has everything he's ever wanted.
As Wonder Woman and Batman are just starting to get the Black Mercy to budge, the vision starts to crumble.
And this is when the waterworks, at least for me, start to come.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's having a day out with his son.
Yeah.
Just an idyllic day out as you would with any family member.
Yeah, taking him to see Grandpa at the science center, you know?
Yeah, and Clark starts to come to terms with the fact that this reality isn't real. And he kneels down next to his son, and even though it's a vision, it's like Superman actually is saying goodbye to his greatest love in creation.
It is. I don't care. Like, it is his son.
Yeah, and like you said before, this doesn't just give you a random vision to walk into. It gives you years and years of memory. And I love that he kneels down next to his son and he says, like, the day you were born was the happiest day of my life.
Man.
Rao, help me. But I don't think you're real. I don't think any of this is real.
Van is just like, he doesn't understand, and he's just crying, and he's like, Dad, you're scaring me. Like, don't say that, please.
Yeah, it's so bad.
And Superman still retains his strength in this scene, and I don't mean like physical strength. I mean emotionally. He's like, I don't want to scare you, Van. You're everything I've ever wanted in a son. This is everything I've ever wanted in a life, but I've got responsibilities now, and I have to go.
Yeah, and just knowing that he has in this vision years and years of happy memories, you know, memories of love and marriage and having kids and having wonderful experience with those kids and having like actual biological parents, like Ma and Pa Kent are his parents.
Yes.
But this is a place where he's finally normal and he's valued for that. And it's like, that's all ripped away from him and he has to turn his back on it.
But he doesn't, but you know, it's I like that you said he has to turn his back on it, because even though he is technically doing that, in the vision, he doesn't turn away, he doesn't leave, he holds Van El close to him and he says, I promise you, I'll never forget.
I promise you, I'll never forget.
Yo, it's actually one of the best fucking stories ever.
It's might be one of the best superhero things ever. Yeah.
It's unfucking believable.
Yeah. I feel like we've both seen that episode countless times, but even just talking about it now, like, I'm trying to hold back tears.
Choked up, dude.
Bro, I'm holding back tears so bad.
And then, as soon as Krypton explodes in the vision, Batman is yanking the Black Mercy off of Superman, and he goes, yes! And it instantly goes on to Batman, and you're like, what is this episode fucking doing to me?
Well, I do think when it goes on Batman, there is a bit of levity, because within his vision, it's really well done. It has a kind of black and white aesthetic to it. Batman reimagines the night of, you know, the Zorro movie show with his parents. But in this, Thomas Wayne just beats the shit out of Joe Chill.
So sick.
And like, we get a zoom out, and Batman just has this like devious grin on his face.
Yeah, well, it's not even devious, it's like sad, because like he's smiling but his eyes are like sad, like he's crying.
He's imagining something that he's replayed in his head probably dozens of times daily. But all the while Batman is now struggling with his own visions,
Superman is free.
And not only is he free, but he is so pissed, because you gotta keep in consideration, like you said, when he's saying goodbye to his son, he says, I'll never forget any of this.
And he doesn't.
He still has years of memories that the Black Mercy has implanted within him. Yep. So to him, the loss of his son and his family and his world
just happened.
Exactly. And he what does he say to Mongol? He says, like, you don't know what you just took from me.
Yeah, he says that, and then Mongol says,
it must have been like tearing off your own arm.
But Superman gives him the works, bro. Like, the combos are insane. It's like Injustice.
No, it is,
And then he looks up and sees that his fight with Mongol has started to crumble the statue of his parents. And he just looks up at them, and that split second of pause gives Mongol the upper hand to start wailing on Superman again. Oh my god.
And I love it because, like we said, this is a very dark episode because you not only see grief, you see rage, which is often so tied to loss, you know, the 5 stages of grief, going from like denial to then, you know, sadness to rage. And you get to see all these emotions play out with Superman, and you're feeling them too.
You are.
Like, when he's saying goodbye to his son, I'm crying with him. When he's beating the fuck out of Mongol, I'm like, yes, fucking give it to him.
Yep. Their fight gets so dark and gritty too for a kid's show, where Superman is punching Mongol so hard that his face is like getting disfigured and he's losing teeth. And then Mongol gets the upper hand on Supes and he grabs his neck as though he's about to break it or like rend it from his body. And he says,
Happy birthday, Kryptonian. I give you oblivion.
And then before he does anything, Superman just says, burn! I'm so happy they let them make this shit, bro.
But he does end up beating Mongol, but not in the way that you might think.
No.
Although he is physically beaten, Mongol is an extremely durable opponent.
Yeah.
And how they actually seal the deal is that they get the Black Mercy off of Bruce,
which results in, you know, his parents dying again in his head. But that's fine. Bruce thinks about that 24/7 anyway.
Exactly. That just confirmed his like need to be Batman for another 15-20 years. And they put the Black Mercy onto Mongol.
And they save the day. And, you know, they're winding down, and Wonder Woman gives Superman her gift, which was a new breed of rose called a Krypton. But it died in the fight, which is so sad.
But there is kind of a metaphor there where Superman's like, oh, it's okay, I'll take care of it anyway.
Yeah.
And I think that rose is a perfect symbol of what the episode is about. Whereas even though this thing is dead and it's lost, you can still cherish it.
Absolutely. And then that's right after that, he promises to the statue of his parents, he says, I will never forget. And the way we leave the episode is like one of the most chilling endings to a superhero cartoon I've ever seen, where I think Wonder Woman asks, what do you think he's seeing in there? And Batman says, whatever it is, it's too good for him. And as we pan down onto Mongol's face, you start hearing the screams and suffering of the damned. And that's his fantasy.
Yeah, just enslaving and killing and pillaging.
Yeah, and it goes back to what he was theorizing Superman would see. He was like, you remember in the beginning of the episode, he was like, oh, I bet he's like imagining himself like at a throne with all of you at his feet. And it's like, no, that's your fucking fantasy, dude. And that's all you can conceive of because you're a piece of shit and you could never conceive of just dreaming about happiness.
And it is a very eerie way to leave it off where you know he's having the time of his life.
Yeah.
And although it's not real, you're almost feeling bad for the people within that vision that are probably getting slaughtered in the most horrific ways.
That's why Batman says it's too good for him, because he doesn't even deserve that. But what's cool is we never see Mongol again in the DC animated universe. So like he's got that shit on him for all eternity.
Which honestly is probably for the best for both parties involved.
Absolutely. Like fuck the Black Mercy, dude.
Yeah.
It's so whack.
Yeah. Guys, comment down below what the Black Mercy would make you see. I would probably just like be in a comic book shop with like everything with the Bat credit card from Batman and Robin.
Oh yeah, no, a card with an infinity symbol on it.
Exactly.
Yep.
Just like purchasing whatever. Guys, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like. It really helps us out. And also, if you're interested in seeing more of us, we do have our Patreon and YouTube membership program live for you guys. Tons of amazing extra content you guys can get there for just $2.50 USD per month.
You get a weekly podcast, access to our Discord, weekly book club discussions, and early access to every single one of our main channel videos.
So guys, if that interests you, hit the link down below to learn more, and we hope to see you in the Discord.
We love you.
We love you dearly.
Peace.
Peace. Peace.